Welcome to Tech Talks. I'm here with Dan Sanders. Dan Sanders is the head of OLX, Middle East and Africa, and OLX is an online classified ads. And if I'm wrong, I'll be corrected shortly. So Dan, welcome.
You're right, you're absolutely right.
Absolutely right. OLX, I see it everywhere.
Yes.
And I use a lot of applications, a lot of online services, but I've never got onto OLX. I know it's for people who want to sell goods.
Sell and buy goods.
Sell and buy goods, and I acquire a lot of gadgets and devices. And why haven't I? So, like, what's the awareness like in Nigeria?
So the awareness is very high. I mean, I've seen that from, like, we do quarterly research on things like top of mind awareness and these type of things. But I also have my own measurements. So okay. I just arrived a couple of days early, and then I tried to ask everybody, every Nigerian I meet, do you know OLX? And until now I had a 100% hit rate. So I think also from the studies, but also from my own experience, the awareness is very high.
So yeah, so do you know OLX? I know OLX. Do you know what OLX does? Have you ever used OLX?
Yes, yes, I love it.
Not you.
Me?
The Nigerians that you ask, not the Nigerians that you ask.
Yes,
yeah, but I think that OLX has done a great, I mean, like in terms of marketing and awareness, it's there.
Yeah.
Right, but then how many people use it?
Phase, what we do is to build the brand and also explain people what classifieds is. So in some markets have a history in classifieds from the newspaper, and for some markets it's new. And I think for Nigerians, like probably your father and grandfather didn't use classifieds in the newspaper. So we first kind of, how we call it, preach the model. So we do that through TV ads, but also we go out on the streets and we explain people. And I think, so we're now round about ending that first phase. So a lot of people know us, a lot of people kind of understand the concept, well, I can sell something and I can buy something. And now we are moving to the next phase where we really need to start onboarding a lot of Nigerians to start using it. So if you look, I mean, if I compare, for example, more mature markets like places in Europe, it's about 40 to 50% of the total population that is using classified. So they are actually trading. So if I kind of take an average in Nigeria, that's around about 3 to 5%. So we have a long way to scale, and that's our mission. I think there's I mean, so you're buying a lot of stuff.
I'm buying.
So there's probably half of that stuff that's probably somewhere in a cupboard or in your garage or
my drawers everywhere.
Drawers in the basement.
And I'm thinking every time, what am I going to do with this? Who am I going to give this to?
Exactly.
I don't want to give it to somebody who's going to sell it on OLX. I want to actually give it to somebody who will find it useful.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, there's different reasons for people to use OLX. So for some people, you know, it's making money because there's a lot of stuff lying around that you don't use, and well, I'd much rather have a few bucks and buy something else.
Exactly.
And for some other people, yeah, I mean, the idea that somebody else can use that product and is happy with it is also very fulfilling.
So, OLX, what does it mean? And then, so, what does it mean? What does it stand for? Secondly, isn't it too complex? I mean, you know, we banks, we have, you know, I think we're trying to simplify the name of things so we can get adoption.
Yeah.
And so when I hear a name like OLX, what does it do?
Yeah, so so OLX was founded in 2006 by two gentlemen in Argentina. It was founded. And it stands for online exchange. And whether in hindsight that was a good idea, I think so. I mean, just purely from a brand perspective, it's a short name.
Yeah.
But we have a few issues. For example, in Thailand, where we have an operation, they don't have the X in the alphabet, so that's kind of an issue. But I think in general, it's very recognizable, and yeah.
I think there's a great opportunity for OLX and the type of business model that you have. There's been a high adoption rate of internet and online services, but I see a few friction points.
Yeah.
Trust is the big one, and exchange of payments, exchange of goods. So, and especially in this market where we have challenges with infrastructure. So, what are you doing to reduce that friction between the people in your ecosystem, and to get more people in there, of course?
Yeah, so there's different things we do. So, and it depends on the market where we operate. So, for example, in Nigeria, trust and safety is our top priority. And I think we have a lot of things we do in the product to, help to overcome some of these hurdles. So, there's, we rely a lot on our users to flag if something sounds fishy. There's, we have a lot of operations supporting, and we check all the ads that are coming online, and we have very intelligent systems that can recognize certain patterns. So, things get flagged, and then we follow up. We also work very closely with police and law enforcement. So I think, we've learned that along the way. And I think, we're still kind of in our journey, and every day we learn, and I think we have made huge progress in that sense. I think that element, I would say, is good. Now, the next big thing is exactly to what you said in the beginning. If you're not used to, ringing a doorbell of a stranger to pick up this chair, you feel a little bit nervous. So I think and it's not something we'll fix overnight. But we have a couple of things we do. So I think first of all, what we are very obsessed or passionate about is making sure people actually sell their product. But because if they do that, they will tell their friends and their colleagues, and so it's kind of a culture almost, and a way of trading that you need to learn people, and the best is if they ask it, if they hear it from somebody they trust and they know. So, and it's and I think one of the more interesting tests Nigeria is doing today. So one of the things we have recently launched is a proposition called "Sell it for me and do it for me." And
sell it for me and do it for me.
Yeah, so it's basically two flavors, and they do something similar. So sell it for me is you go to the OLX website and you say, okay, I want to sell my car. So then we assign an OLX champ, as we call it, to you. He comes to your house with your phone and etc., and he posts your car on your behalf. He has all the knowledge about how to make great pictures, how to make great description. So that's one way of overcoming it. Then
I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
So I will send somebody to your house.
I really like that. But the question is, so what do you do? So how do I know I can have confidence that my sell it for me chap is a bona fide, trustworthy, and it's not just somebody that is going to come into my house and the next minute I'm going to be robbed by somebody. Next day I'm going to be robbed by somebody. So
there's a very intense screening, there's a whole process, of course, to make sure that doesn't happen. It never happened. So we have, we've taken a lot of measures to make sure that OLX champ is a real champ.
So is this the first market you're trying it in, or you've done it somewhere?
No, so this is also Nigeria is kind of leading the pack globally. So we're operating in 45 markets, and the world is looking upon Nigeria to see whether this works. So but the even more interesting thing is that you have sell it for me, but also do it for me, and that goes even a step further. So. In this case, the OLX champ has posted your iPad or your new shoes that you're not wearing, but you can also ask him to manage the whole process for you. So he will pick up, he will enter his phone number, he will pick up the phone from the buyers, he will show them the car or your shoes.
Okay.
And then once, the deal is made, he can make the deal and you'll get your money and the buyer gets his products. And that's also a way of overcoming a local hurdle. And I'm very excited about the test, because if this works, then we'll probably export it to Indonesia, India, Philippines, Kenya. So in that sense,
yeah, I think it might work, because I think this is only one of the last countries that when you go to a petrol station, you actually have somebody who puts the petrol in the car for you.
Yeah.
I can't imagine people walking out and putting the petrol themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think this is one step to actually help people.
Yeah.
At least they see someone do it for them, then they start doing it. Especially if you're going to charge, of course, take a deeper commission for somebody doing it for me as well.
And I think it's also it's an very good byproduct of the way, so how we organize. So we very much believe in having local teams, because trade is very universal.
You're creating employment for Nigerians as well.
That as well.
So that's another one too.
Yeah. So that's even so. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Last question. So, and it's on payments. So how is payments done currently in Nigeria? Yeah. How can it be better? How can it be better? Because I think that is also a friction point as well. Yeah. Like people use cash, but electronic payments is best. It's an audit trail.
Yeah.
But people don't trust. One of the issues that you have is trust on.
Yeah.
Putting your payment and personal details.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah, I say the whole world is waiting for the perfect payment method. I think if I look at our market, or the Nigerian market, but Africa in general, it's absolutely mobile first. So if 90% of our users are actually either using the app or the mobile site. So without a doubt, the payment solution should be something mobile, and I think it will definitely help us to overcome some of these trust and safety issues if there's a validated payment partner. So that's maybe a question to you. I don't know. What do you foresee in terms of payments here in Nigeria on mobile?
Well, I think, you have companies who are online who have used the deliver and collect cash, deliver and POS terminal, which is big and clunky.
Yeah.
I know that we've introduced mobile POS terminals, which are smaller.
Yeah.
And so people will pay first. But then again, you have the problem, you deliver and the person is not there.
Yeah.
So I think what the banks are doing, working with the NIBS, which is Nigerian Interbank Payment Settlement System, is to come up with a product, which is like a letter of credit, an LC. And so a payment is made to an escrow account, so it's created, and then when the delivery has been made, then it moves to the delivery account. I think that will help, because we're also trying to reduce that cash movement as well, and increase trust. So that's something that I know should be introduced before the end of the third quarter, and a lot of online companies such as yours actually been waiting for that. Yeah. And we also need to do that as well, because we have a lot of online companies who are creating wallets and trying to steal business from banks. So this is a response from the banking industry to say, okay, how can we help to, should I say, facilitate commerce, especially in that online space. So we think that is the first step, to set up that escrow between buyer and seller, which can be done quite easily, and then once that trust has been built between the buyer and seller, then it moves. Then you will not have any need for that. Yeah. Especially as banks are going to take a fee for managing that process as well.
Yeah. No, but for us that will be, a very useful tool in helping overcome these local hurdles. And we're eager to see what the banks are going to launch.
Coming soon. Waiting for it.
Thanks.
But thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Because my next app I'm going to download is my OLX app. Yes. And if I can't do it myself, I'll get someone to do it for me.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The show.
Thanks.
Yes.